Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be continuing the whole Bible as we've been going, reading the Action Bible based on the KJV. So we just got done reading about Noah's story. Obviously the world was evil, so God flooded the entire earth. And now they're out there floating in this entire planet, which is an ocean. So now we're going to get to the story called A Rainbow's Promise, based on Genesis chapter 8 through 10. A month after month, Noah's family waits. We've been in this ark for 6 months now. When will we ever see land? So many people know the 40 days, 40 nights as far as the rain. But now they're stuck after that for 6 months. So they're waiting on the water basically to, go away. They're waiting, to lower back down, into, and be able to be on land again. We've been in this ark for 6 months now. When we ever see land again? It could be another 6 months, and we'll have, and what will we find when we finally get out? As sons are talking and things like that, because Noah and his sons and their wives and things. Finally, the water level begins to drop. The ark comes to rest on the top of the mountain of Ararat. I'll send out a dove. If it doesn't come back, we'll know it has found land. The dove disappears from sight. Noah watches the skies. After long hours swirling through the sky, the dove returns. A few days later, Noah again sends out a dove, and it returns. So he sends out these doves, because he knows that they don't come back. Basically, they found land. They found a spot for them to stay, to nest. But if it comes back, that means it didn't find anything. An olive branch, that means some land must be dry again. So it brings back an olive branch, which is a good sign. 7 days later, Noah sends out a dove for the third time. This time, the bird does not return. It has found a place to nest. Noah and his family are anxious to leave the ark. They look every day for signs of dry land. Look, now finally they've found and seen dry land, as we can see in this, this picture here. A little over a year after the flood started, Noah steps out onto dry land once more. Only 8 people have survived the flood. Noah, his wife, their 3 sons, and their wives. And their sons' wives. Yeah, so there was there. The warm sun on my face, the grass under my feet, it feels so wonderful. Everything evil's gone through us. God is giving human beings a new start. We must obey God and teach everyone who follows us to obey. Oh, ground, how I've missed you. So now they are the last ones alive. God has destroyed everything evil. So it was their job to teach, their children and their children, on down about God and how to obey him. The first thing Noah does is to build an altar. He thanks God for his care and asks God's guidance to help the family make a new start. Then God makes a new wonder in the sky, a rainbow. So this is what the rainbow means. We see rainbows in the sky after it raining, and that is God's reminder of the promise he made Noah all them years ago, that he would never flood the entire earth again. And it was a beautiful sight. Now, obviously, that them colors have been manipulated and turned in for something that is against God, as the transgender community has taken it for a flag for, I don't even know what reason they have taken it, but it is disrespectful and is a slap in the face to God, especially because it's something that God has told us specifically not to do. That's not the meaning of it in any way. Rainbow does not mean, you're a transgender or whatever. It means God. It stands for God's promise that, he's promised us he would never flood the earth again. The whole earth at once again. For as long as the earth lasts, there will be a time to plant and a time to harvest. There will always be summer and winter day. and night, but never again will a flood destroy the whole earth. There's his promise. It's beautiful. God is good. Whenever people see a rainbow, they'll remember God's promise that a flood will never destroy the whole earth again. So when you see a rainbow, and oftentimes you see it when it's raining, no coincidence, it rained and flooded the whole earth. That's God's reminder to us that he would never flood the earth again. In years after the flood, Noah's sons Shem, Ham, and Japheth and their families moved down to the river valleys. Their families grow larger in the time. The mountains and plains are dotted into the tents of shepherd tribesmen and the rich river valleys with growing cities. So obviously, their children had to have children together or whatever. So, cousins or whatever, to grow. Obviously, that is a sin now because we have enough people, there's enough people in the world for us to be with somebody who we're not related to. But for this time, they had to, and now they have, grown into huge. They moved. They're going into cities. So next week we'll get into the Babbling Tower. So now, large populations are starting to grow onto the earth once more. They're starting to build. They're starting to make things. They're starting, they're starting to repopulate all them things. So we'll see how that turns out next week. So if you guys learned something new, maybe even about Noah's story or whatnot. Again, this is Action Bible, and it's a very good book. It basically just takes the King James Version and simplifies it, and gives you some pictures and things like that. I thought it would be nice to read. After we finish this, we're going to get back into my other Bible and, get back into some different verses and things. Hopefully you guys, again, learn something. As always, take it easy, and I'll see you guys next week.